Welcome back to another live trading session, traders. We are progressing towards an absolutely busy trading week, and as with another trading day, looking at here a few trading opportunity along the way. If you guys look at that, we are looking at potential entry opportunity on gold and also many other instruments. So let's begin another trading days. And in the beginning of the session, I'm looking at to see there is some news that we see along the way. Thank you for joining, and hello everyone. Thank you very much. And YouTube algorithm likes if you like this stream, so make sure that you first give a thumbs up before you look at the analysis as well as trade setup that to look at here in the market to see where the market is heading to. And this is gonna be a pretty exciting trading opportunity here in that market. And we're looking at to see where the market potentially be heading. First of all, we will be doing the analysis. Thank you very much. We are having to see that the market is really exciting at the moment. All right, so I'm waiting for every member to come up, and I see that likes is needed for starting. Hello everyone, thank you very much. Now, first of all, we will be looking at, as usual, gold, and anyone looking at anything different other than gold, we are looking at dollar yen. Here is dollar yen. Also, it's on key level of support on dollar yen. And USD JPY, if you look at, was in a move. If you look at the BTC USD, also showing significant trending direction. You can see that gold is moving significantly back to the upside here in this market. And at the moment, if we look at, I'm looking at gold, and we will be doing a multiple time frame analysis as gold is currently very hot, and we can see there is a significant volatility. Yesterday we have a huge breakdown, and the market has again bounced back to the upside for a pullback here. So welcome. Now looking at, first of all, this is monthly chart on gold, and I'm going to do a quick multiple time frame analysis. The reason I'm saying it's quick, we will be first few minutes we will be looking at three important analysis. Fundamental, first of all we will be doing the technical, then we'll be looking at the fundamental, and then we will be looking at the technical, fundamental, and sentiment. These three key elements that you will be looking at in this analysis for us to be able to find out either we'll be looking at buying or selling, right? We want to see that this three analysis has been in line or aligned together. So looking at, first of all, daily chart here. All right, so this is the daily market structure. Now yesterday, some of the members here, I think many of you has asked that this drop here on gold, is it reversal or it was something else? Now this is what we are looking at now. If you looked at, this is what I have discussed, that this drop on gold has something to look at. All right, so let me give you the point of order block, and also I'm going to look at today. We'll be sharing some valuable insight on how you guys can also use it, because if you look at that, I'm posting also quite a few smaller videos every single day to understand that how it works. So if you look at, say, a structure formation like the market does this, the market has gone back to the upside. All right, and now if you look at, the market has dropped from the top straight. This is invaluable, keep in mind, traders. When you see the market drop straight, always look at the lowest point, which candlestick pattern, regardless of time frame. So if you look at that, for example, like this, a candle has the lowest point, right? You can also create an automated system for that, very simple. This is the lowest point and this is the top of this candle, right? Now if you see the market has dropped with this simple one move, straight drop, and that move straight touch that high of this lowest point candle, and mostly candle rejected off that level. That's a buy opportunity here. This is an order block. Simple. Now looking at here on daily, if you look at this daily market after this pin bar, there was a one single drop on the daily, and see that where the market touched that point, right? So if you look at this flag pattern, all right, so this is a flag pattern here, and from that flag pattern, this is the lowest point of this flag pattern, this is the highest point of this candle. The market has come back to that same point with a bigger ATR candle, straight drop, close above, rejection. So therefore we can expect now a new higher high. Have any question? You can ask in the live chat. All right, shall we leave the WTI trade running? Mine is still running. What's happening with the WTI? Oh no, I'm out. Okay, so WTI is highly likely to bounce back to the upside here. Okay, so very highly likely. Now there, with the current spike on WTI, do you know that why the market is now this break below? We'll be discussing all. There is a lack of supply, but this drop that you can see now is a short-term lack of demand as well, due to the some of the, because biggest consumer of the oil is aviation, right? So there is a lot of cancellation of flights, so that causes WTI now to be little bit of slowdown, but overall you might see that upside here. We'll be coming to that. Now here is gold. Now I'm looking at, as we discussed, that higher time frame. Okay, so we saw the daily market structure showing that there is a higher chance for gold to reverse back to the upside here. So now I'm going to the 1 hour. You guys look at the 4 hour. This is a very good area now at the moment for a potential trading opportunity. This instrument is having a higher volatility of this support that you can see. The market has started to bounce off this level, pull back, another move, pull back, So the market is maintaining this uptrending market structure here, and with that uptrending market structure, the price action that you can see is following along, and therefore here this is the key support level, and this key support level they're expecting the market to respect that support and then to bounce back to the upside here in that market. Alright, so lower time frame, if you look at, there is a doji rejected back to the upside here, and with this doji the market has shown another movement here with, if we look at the multiple liquidity sweep, there is a liquidity grab here, bounce back to the upside, there's another liquidity grab, bounce back to the upside, and you can see there is another liquidity grab, bounce back to the sweep. Along the way here in this area, the market is maintaining an uptrending market structure. This is a clean inverted head and shoulder that you can see on gold has formed, and with this inverted head and shoulder on gold, we are looking at the 30 minutes time frame. We can look at any time frame. Usually when I'm doing the multiple time frame analysis, I look at which time frame give me the best information. That's where I look at, because ultimately we will be trading on lower time frame, but we need to see the higher time frame to see that how the market overall direction, which way the market is heading. And with that overall direction in the market, we are looking at the price action to show up after, the price action confirmation, we can enter. However, when we are looking at the overall direction in the market, when we are looking at this price action here that you can see, we can see the direction, because there are two things only a trader need to know before looking at entry. Is either you should be buying or selling, right? That's all you need to know. And then direction. By the way, before I progress further, traders, don't miss out to join our education group, where also I'm sharing many of the ideas, trade setup, and also recently there has been some promotion going on, so you can stay connected there, joining the free Telegram. This is where I'm sharing every update, education, and the link given in the live chat. So I'm pausing for 1 minute. Everyone click and join there to stay connected to the Academy's latest update, education. Either you are trading gold, euro, dollar, BTC, USD, every update is there available. And this is one-stop learning center where you can learn the actual real trading system that you already have seen for those who are in the Premium Academy. So don't miss out. Just a one click joining there will give you always an advantage of being learning. Now it's 2026, a great time to learn to trade. You see that the world is changing, and it's gonna change. This nothing can you can't stop a season, right? You can't stop winter from becoming a summer. Most people who are in that, like, I'm living in a country where there is the winter is main. So if you're living in a country where there is a long extended winter, they hate winter, right? When the summer comes, they hate the summer going away, but it will go away. You can't stop. But to stay warm, you can't stop the summer, but you can still stay warm all the time. That's what it is. So this is what it is. Embrace the change and then adapt. Right? Adaptability. I remember when long ago I had an exam, I remember. For what exam I forgot, but there was a multiple choice, okay, that is gonna help you in many areas, right? Either you are doing a job or a school, or like retired, everywhere. It's the same philosophy, every aspect in your life, even in the family life, everywhere. So what, if you are being hired by, like anyone for any job or any work, what actually look for in you, right? Everyone wants to be somewhere, right? So there are 4 choices that one you have to make. Okay, so one is intelligence. You have to be very intelligent, which is very normal. Experience, so intelligent, experience. There's another one, like intelligent, experience, and maybe a very higher education, right? This is what we all emphasize, right? There's another one is adaptability. Okay, and the answer was actually adaptability. This is what makes big difference between anything, right? Because all of this above, you can see, is subjected to expiry. Intelligence is subjected to expiry because it's based on the factual information that is constantly being updated. Experience also subjected to change, because probably you had a very good experience of driving a manual car. Suddenly there is an automated car started in the market, so the experience is subjected to change. And then education, right? Education also based on fact and information that is subject. Adaptability is where you constantly renew yourself, constantly unlearn and then relearn. Guys, this is where the biggest thing. We in our current society, we emphasize a lot on learning, but zero emphasis on unlearning. The things comes when you learn how to unlearn and become empty. Right? When you unlearn, you become empty, and then you're ready to rewire like a newborn, and then you can adapt to any situation that you fall into. So this is where the emphasis is. Now, becoming, if you look at here, in being trader means that you learn to adapt, because the things that cannot adapt is go extinct. Like the dinosaurs, they couldn't adapt and they got extinct. So it's like this. So therefore, the more you adapt, you're gonna evolve and become something else, someone else, and then you start to adapt, and then this is how you can create a completely different life that you're in. And this is one-stop learning center, where based on always constantly updating with the current retail trading setup, which is more than up to date. We are almost 50 years ahead in this game of trading. So if you are here, then you are actually in the future. Let's look at that. All right, here now. So if you look at the lower time frame, it's a 4-hour chart. The market is at this 4-hour support level. And looking at the daily, here's the move. 4-hour. This is the 1 hour. And we are looking at the market to retest and then reject back to the upside. With a long wick doji of this key resistance to this support level here that we are looking to see the market. If you look at this is support level, expecting that this market to eventually reverse back to the upside here in that market. Here's the key level, and the market is getting rejected back to the upside here. And with this, if you look at, there is it's forming an inverted head and shoulder. It's almost 1 minute we are looking at. Now anytime the market this is potentially preparing for a bounce. If you look at it has broken this swing low here from a long wick, so there is a very high chance for an upside bias in that market. So let's look at that. And in the meantime, I'm just raising the volume of not my voice but the music, and then we will be starting another entry. All right, so you can see the market. There is a 1 hour candle close here, and with this candle close, the market initially bounced off this level. Now leaving a key area of support that you can see that you can consider for a potential buy, and there is quite a few rejection of this support level here. So I'm preparing for things. Was nice music. Thank you very much. Look for the welcome. Now here is looking at that level of this support that expecting there is a potential breakout here, and from this support, if you look at the market is having the rejection back to the upside here. The market is pretty really spiky at the moment, that I would say, and you can see that whenever coming down getting rejected, it's now had a significant breakout again. Therefore, looking at in this market here, from this support level, they're expecting to bounce back to the upside. So this breakout structure that you can see from this high to this low here, this breakout structure is, it's a huge penetration back below here, right, which is a stronger liquidity sweep. And breaking out of this level here. And from this support that you can see, the market is getting rejection, and therefore looking at this level here for the price to eventually break below further, and we can look for the entry. From the 4 hour, that if you look at the price action showing that there is a higher chance for the market to continue to rise. Already it has shown a breakout, right? So you can see the current session is here. If we look for any entry just before entering, traders, I'm mentioning my trading plan is that I'll be looking for putting my stop loss below 5187, right? So if the market drop down to near to the support level, we will be entering. So this is my trading plan now at the moment. If any time, if you look at this, this is the 30 minutes candle. If the market coming down here near to this where the candlestick pattern started, from that support level, we will be looking for that entry here in that market. All right, so here is back-to-back few candlestick pattern, and we could see the market to break back to the upside here in that area that you can see. Now this is the 5 minutes price action, 5 minutes bullish and golfer. They're expecting this market eventually to break further low and then can give us an entry opportunity here in that market. Now the previous analysis that I mentioned, when you see that one single drop to the lowest point of a consolidation, this same thing playing out here. Traders, pay attention here. You see, this is the pin bar. You see that? That narrow pin bar is the lowest point of this consolidation. Highest point is, you see that how the market has straight drop to that same point and reverse back to the upside. This is order block trading, right? Smart money trading. Now I'm looking at an entry. Want to see the deeper pullback here. Can look for going from this level here. Okay, so want to see the little deeper pullback, and I'm preparing for an entry. So letting you guys here, the key that we must have a risk management plan, which is very important. Lot sizing and also putting the right amount of risk per trade depending on what strategy you're using. Here I will be using a smaller risk trade here for this entry, and that move can take this price action, this market back above to this it might go a lot because this is the daily rejection that you can see. They're expecting here to come back to this level here before it going for any pullback. So therefore we will be targeting here a bit of higher move. They're expecting for this drop here. You can see the market is trying to come back here below which is might create an opportunity for us to go long. And the 5 minutes before this 5 minutes candle close, I'm going to look at an entry here. Right, so going for an entry, so I'm opening by stop loss. I'll keep below this order block, and I'm going to target at the moment here a bit of ambitious move, but we'll see that how far we can take if the market goes really in that direction. Do you have any news coming up later today? If you look at the calendar, yes, there is news coming in. It's still ADP non-farm employment change, 1 hour 15 minutes, and before that you should be able to take any directional bias with this trade here. Okay, so here we can see some kind of we see some pullback here in this market, and that pullback is important to see. The market is coming for this deeper pullback, and I think there is a higher chance for the price to continue to rise back. But at the same time, this is a trade that I have opened. See, there is a narrower doji formation. They're expecting the market from that support level to eventually bounce back to the upside here, that we are looking to see potential reaction of this support level here. So it's moving back to the upside here. All right, so see some long weekend is being created in that area. We're on the interesting price section here. Here's the long week, but I'm still looking to see that if you look at the 4 hour, this is the 4 hour price section. Here the market has shown there is a significantly, the market has reverse of this level, that expecting this is where the price action is going back to the upside here. And here is the, if you look at this, is a, here is a gap open, might come for what I think for a deeper pullback. And just sort of looking to see that with this pullback, the market to eventually reject back to the upside. This is a deeper pullback, and we'll see that how far it drops. Might be coming for the retest of this support. And the 15 minutes here. It's a bit unusual to see that much of drop, but see that it directly hit that 4 hour support. Now I will be re-entering if in case it hit back our stop loss, but I will be re-entering. This is the entirely really manipulated back below. We see the market drop back below. I'm still on the trade. If I see it hit, I'll be looking for re-entry, because I'm out with the trade, and I will be looking for re-entry here again. This is a very interesting support level here, and very unusual break below. Yesterday also you had the same thing. In the next one we got a big gain. So here I'm going to look for a re-entry from this support. Stop loss placing below this support here. 5174.50. TP target setting above here. So my entry here again, the next trade I have entered 5183.74. So stop is really surprising, but that might be coming for high liquidity sweep. Current stop loss only 92 pip. This might be just an entirely, as we discussed, a liquidity sweep. And if you look at this zone is a very important area of value, and so now this trade, if it is successfully pushing back up, you could see the new higher high. However, if this one also break below, then we might see that the price may even come back to this daily support, which could be something due to fundamental. But at the moment, so far, to see potential bounce here, with a long wick pin bar, they're expecting it to now we'll observe the price action here to see if it is showing a stronger confluence for going up. If it isn't, then we might exit a near entry, but still holding on to that. Strongly falling. So we are progressing towards also the NY session opening, and with this 30 minutes price action, now this support that you can see is important to see. The market is showing upside bias. Okay, so if we see the market showing upside bias here, we'll be running, or probably we might see sudden drop again back to the daily support, and in that case we'll not be running this trade here. First of all, I would like to see that still showing a bullish confluence here in that area. Okay, so it's crossing up of this level here, and we want to see that bullish, that means that uptrending movement back here above this level, where we'd like to see the price to cross that high to be able to run the trade further. It's not gonna, looks like that it's gonna slip down back below, and we'll try to stop loss here. So it tested this support and getting rejection of that. A bit of higher volatility. So we are going out with this. The market is showing there might be deeper drop here. Looking at the daily, what happened with the fundamental? We are looking to see the news is coming. Okay. Go to trades. There is a possibility now the price to come down here, right? So it's a very unusual breakdown. After this bullish price action, there is a breakup structure, and that is basically showing that there might be change in the market sentiment again. It's best to wait for the price action to show. Pre-NY liquidity, so yeah, this is what's happening. And to me, there has been a very unusual move. This is a very stronger bullish confluence. It entirely rejected. Okay, Vendor is good. Yeah, of course. Why not? I mean, which broker is good? Yeah, so you guys can see the link for the broker that I'm using. Thank you very much. So the continuation of this downtrend here with a big bear candle. Where is the daily support is now is here. The market got little confused here. So because there is a little bit of confusion, better to wait to see actually what the new market sentiment is. Suddenly we see there is a sharp downtrending price action here in that area, and that might take this market to, I think it suddenly can get a lot of a bit bigger drop, because it just rejected off this key level. And therefore now for the short term we might be to see that from this high to any of this low, for even to see a sell trade may come up along the way. But I always look for the trade in the major trend. If you look at the major trend, as there is a news coming, probably the market is most likely coming to the daily low before the news, so that it can have a spike back with the news to the upside here. So therefore, here I'm looking at the lower time frame. Looking at the lower time frame here, for this market to going back and then to return back again. All right, so patience is key. Every single is different, but I'm looking to see that the next trade to be a bit of bigger entry. And also watch for Vantage, also Pepper Stone, but there are many good ones. Yeah, there are quite a few. Um, you can look at the best one depending on your location, but I'm using the Vantage at the moment, which is currently also having some bonus offer. You guys can find the link in the description. Depending on your location, also you can look at that. Okay, so here is the most important part, traders, is to be trading with risk management, trading with profitable strategy. That's the key. You can't expect all trade to winner, but at the same time, like without winning, also you can't get confidence. So you'll see that most trader do very well when they are winning, but when they are losing, that's where they got lose the track. So that's why trading psychology is very important, to have better understanding when you are losing. Okay, so here is, we have two trades that didn't work out, but I'm looking to enter one trade a bit of higher risk than usual, so then we can go back first to the break even and then potentially to in the profit zone. The stop loss wasn't very high because the volatility is high. So this is now, the market is coming to potentially to the intraday support, because got the rejection of this after this pullback. I was expecting further upside, but it rejected. So there might be now significantly here downtrend for short term. So therefore, looking to see that whenever the market is showing price action confirmation, sell. Yeah, now not yet. We want to see the price action confirmation exiting this drop to 5121. This drop could come back. I think it might come back below further. It may come to the daily low. Okay, it may cross the daily low or near come to the daily low, and again we might see that bounce back. So therefore there is a bit of gap now that it might need to fill. So now if you look at this 1 minute trend creating series of lower high and lower low, that 1 minute trend might bring that market further down here. It's continuing. it's maintaining that downtrend here in that area that you can see, and that might bring the market further lower. It's really interesting. With this high here, the market started to break below, and with this drop down here, they're expecting the market to respect that low. Now as the market is melting down back below, you'll see the price to come back below here to create a new lower low in this market. There is the high, and expecting this market to potentially respect that level, and you can see the market is maintaining this. Now with this support, if the market is going back to this key level, because there is already a downtrending move had started, if the market goes up for a pullback here in that area, we might see further downside here. We'll be looking for potentially selling opportunity in this market. Thank you very much. If there guys, you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Daily open depends on what time frame you are using. If we break the close below 5120, there will be a bearish break of strike on 15 minutes plus untested bullish OB at daily open plus trending liquidity. That's a good observation, but you know, sometimes it's sometimes a bit of confusing to look at the overall picture rather than the lower time frame zone to see actually in essence. Yeah, that's completely fine. So the market, if you look at this zone here, so far sudden drop, that signals that there might be here further bearish. Only looking at this one here, regardless of anything, because the trend is, trend strength is important. The trend is very bearish here, and because the trend is very much bearish, we could see that the market to here come further downside, potentially back here in that area. And with this, if you look at from this support level here, as the market is approaching this key zone, here is the market. If you look at, it's going back in that area. Now, because it initiated a drop, we are looking at this market to eventually come down further back below. And the 5 minutes price action, it's maybe a pullback or maybe a reversal. Let's understand that what it is trying to do here. If it is a pullback, it's a good entry for another wave of drop in that direction here. Thing is when Asian open. Now 10 minutes coming up, NY open. And don't forget to leave a like. Thank you very much for the call. Yeah, absolutely. Traders, your support is appreciated. Okay, now here the 5 minutes closed and price action is not, like answering to. Oh, thank you very much. That's fine, traders. Engaging is very important to look at the market here. And so repeat that. How do you know that? It's impossible to know, right? It's an insider. So if you look at the calendar, the forecast is 50K. Let's see. What's your bias with the upcoming data here? All right, so this we are looking to see the repeat non-permanent branches coming in just a matter of 25 minutes, right? If we enter, it's gonna be very close to the news. Now, if this movement that you can see is consolidating here, that might potentially bring further low here. See that. I'm starting a pool here. For the upcoming news. So I'm starting a pool here for the upcoming news. Do you think it's gonna break below? That means bearish or bullish? I've started a pool and you guys can look at that pool to see that if you're casting a vote. Let's see the majority of them which we're thinking. Here it may form a head and shoulder and could come down back below. If this market drop again for this weak fill, we most likely to see that coming down 5120 or below. So far looking like that, looking like there might be a downtrend here in that market. There might be. So it's a stronger move. We'll be waiting to see a little more further. Getting here rejection from that. a bit cautious for an entry because we already had 2 trades, and here this is now creating pretty long doji here in that area, and see one single move back to the upside to the key level. Now from that key level, if the market goes back up, liquidity sweep, and return back again, it's where we are looking at this market to show us an entry. You can see there is an initial bounce of this level here. Okay, so 15 minutes there is a bounce, and so out of grammar really, especially during this kind of high volatility situation, the market become a little bit, so when people refers to daily open, what time are they referring to, please? So daily open means that if you look at daily open where new candlestick pattern open, that's where it is, right? So this is the level that the market open, and okay, so this is the current support level that you can see in that area, and this is the daily open. So when the Asian market open, new daily candle open, and the market bounce off this level. So at this point, if we look at, this is a trend line with this daily candlestick pattern open, and if the market breaking off that trend line, that's a good entry point. New session open, there might be new move. Turn music on. Let's see that 15 minutes coming the data, and after the data we'll be able to see again, but doesn't it depend on candle close and candle open are universal. Regardless of where you are, you'll see the same time, because it's gonna open based on the MT4 time. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, after the NY session close, after the Asian open. Because the candle timing is universal. It's based on broker time. Okay, so most broker timing is based on NY and London session. Daily, I think daily candle should be all same. Okay, so here is I'm at the moment. It's not universal because some brokers use different time zone, which can make things confusing. However, many brokers do use NOI for daily open and close. I've looked into this because okay, so in different broker, the only thing could be what I think the intraday time frame can be varied, because I'm in the same time zone all the time. Can anyone give a feedback? Is it different for different country, the daily open and close? I don't think so. Okay, let's see that here. Okay, might be a bit different here. Opening of the daily candlestick is same in the forex market. I know those because okay, opening of the daily candlestick is same in forex. Yeah, I think so, that, but depends on really where you are looking at. For me, it's the same. All right, so here is with this support level here, that again the market had got back to the upside, which is showing that there is an upside bias here, and this is long week candlestick pattern, expecting the market to retest and reject back again. Now, if you look at here, slowly the market structure is maintaining its uptrend in that area. So with this doji, if you look at, there is a breakout pullback and the market is maintaining its uptrend here in that area. Now, if the price come for a deeper pullback, we are looking at that, and it's something worth looking into because daily. Yeah, absolutely, it's important to look at, and I think everyone's own timing zone have to look at. That's the best way. Breaking here back above, and off this support level, there is potential for an upside here, and if the market coming here for a deeper pullback, we are looking for the market to deep down back below. breaking here back above. That is a very unusual drop that you can see has entirely dropped down and again bounced back to the upside. So this is a, from here what you can see that actually it was liquidity grab. One single drop, a little pullback, another bounce straight going back to the same level, and this is another dimension of uncertainty in the news, and there is coming up in 2 minutes time. Okay, so here is some news that shown as high impact for the market. Calendar, you're looking at here in the calendar, and coming up in just probably a few seconds. $63K, so it's way more than forecast. So now how does the market responded to that? Let's look at DXY. It's interesting, the market didn't react to that news at all. It might do now. It's a massive move that you can see in this area here. And okay, DXY has shown here there might be short-term drop from the intraday perspective here. That means that might push BTC USD. And if you look at the USD JPY, also potentially towards the upside here in this market. Okay, now that if you look at that intraday perspective from the 4-hour perspective here on gold, we can see that there is a bounce. So now at the moment you can see the market dropped to that and reverse back again. We might see what I think lower time frame range, but the bias in the market is still showing that the market may break back to the upside here in that market. So the data has come out and some interesting move. I've drawn the trend line. Now from here buying is not a good idea at all because it's very at the top. If the market now drop to this trend line or break below here, we can look for going long or coming for liquidity sweep in that area. This is what we will be looking at. So I'm deleting those levels here. Okay, so it's getting breaking from that level that you can see, and you can see the market is slowly coming here down back below to this support level. And because the market is coming down back below to the support, here is what we are looking at this market to give us an potential entry here in that market. And with this triple top, so it might now come back again, as we mentioned, to this support, and that can give us a possible buying opportunity, breaking below this level here. This is a key level of support. Now with this long wick, there is also the 15 minutes price action is closing out of this level, and the only thing the market is facing here traders, is that this is the 4-hour doji and it's still 1.5 an hour remaining for this candlestick pattern. I think the market might find it difficult to now to straight bounce and create a new higher high. Instead, there is a higher chance for this market now moving a sideways until the 4-hour candle close, and then we could see the market to again return back. So if the market moves in a sideways, the best area to look at now for the market to give us an entry of this zone on this trend line after this pullback. Do you have any video on trend lines? Yeah, there is a plenty of lessons available on the channel. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, you can do so. And also if you are on the premium, then there's a premium lessons, premium videos available explaining how to trade in the direction of the trend from the breakup trend line. That means that from the breakup structure. And these are the core education that can be applied in anything, and that's, you know, this kind of education, these are all from long observation and back testing. So if you haven't watched the premium lessons we have, if you're in the premium group traders, now all those educational lessons available on the group that you are receiving all the trade alert, regular update. So it's just in one single group you can find everything: education, trade alert, regular update. So it becomes much now simpler. With this long wick, if you look at, this is a narrow doji. That narrow doji might be showing potentially creating an upside bias here in that market. Okay, now coming for this deeper pullback is where we are looking at this market to show us an entry. And okay, so this drop down that you guys can see here back below is this is the 4-hour chart that you can see forming a doji, and this candlestick pattern may not be able to break high very early, and what I think it might on the lower time frame may go for a bit of sideways movement, and off that we could see the market to reverse back again to the upside here in that market. Now this is the local trend line that you can see. You want to see that this local trend line to break below further and then to reverse again back to the upside here in that market. I'm really surprised with this movement now at the moment. This is it's a very sideways. Now with that movement, do you have any? Thank you very much. Here with this break below, okay guys, so with this break below here we are looking for an upside bias, because we will not be looking to sell now at the moment, because there is a breakout. I want to see the music bit down here. So there is a breakout, and off that breakout, someday the market really moves like that, especially after the big trend, because earlier today we have seen, since the daily open, the market was in a trend. Now if you look at it, now rejected back below here in that area, and that is what the market is eventually coming for, this deeper pullback in that area. All right, so we'll be looking to see where it is heading. Here is the support, slowly trying to build that momentum here in that area. completely sideways. Here I see there is a very interesting sideways narrow consolidation. If the market is not approaching this 4-hour resistance where there is a intraday open close and also the high, we would be looking to look for buying of this level. But it might now move in a sideways and could drop back down. So we're looking at gold ahead today. We see that there is a bit of sideways movement, but overall trend is bullish. So therefore, any dip can give us sell opportunity here in that market. All right. So what are you doing looking at gold today? We saw that 53% bullish with the non-farm employment, ADP non-farm, 47% bearish. How did that impact it? See, in fact, most of the members were right. Though it's a very narrow change, but almost nearly 50-50, but we saw there is a break to the upside here. Right, so you saw that there is an initial bounce back to the upside here. So that is, if you look at, that is what the market is doing now. From this triple top, it might come, what I think, that breaking again to the trend line. That's what we will be looking at entry again. By the way, traders, every day is different. Today a bit different. It's on just Wednesday. We still have 2 stunning days. This is NFPU, guys. Coming up tomorrow, unemployment claims, followed by after tomorrow will be the biggest event of the month for traders. We'll be trading this ADP non-farm employment change as well as the unemployment claims. That being said, it is an incredible trading session today. And I'm almost nearing to the end of the session, but I'd really encourage you to join the Telegram. You can find link below this video where a lot of educational content being shared, and also don't miss out to join every single day. In this session, we discuss about the trading psychology, live trade setup, analysis, as well as trade discussion that will change the way you look at the market. And as of in 2026, we are trading using the latest trading tools and robots and strategies. You can explore more by visiting the website below this video link, where you can visit the website and get access to many of the trading strategies as well as tools that can change the way you look at the market. So that being said, traders, thanks for joining here, and we'll see you again very soon with another update, another live session, and also posting some important content in the channel to keep you informed. So stay subscribed, stay notified by pressing that notification bell. that you can see. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you again very soon shortly after.